Well, the New York Mets have a new manager, and the team is holding a press conference right now where they're officially introducing former outfielder Carlos Beltran as the 22nd manager in franchise history. Let's listen in.
Carlos's wife, Jessica, his daughters, Ivana and Kiara, and little Ivan, Carlos, who we just had a little spill here this morning, but good to see you're doing all right, buddy. Carlos and Jessica, welcome back to the organization. Kids, we are very excited to create new memories for you and your dad here at Citi Field. So I want to take a couple minutes to talk about the hiring process. Over the course of the last month, we completed a thorough and extensive search. We considered, vetted, and ultimately interviewed a large group of candidates. They were highly qualified, and they came from very diverse skill sets and diverse backgrounds. I'd like to thank our ownership group, Fred Wilpon, Saul Katz, and particularly Jeff Wilpon, our COO, and the entire ownership group for being patient and supportive through the process. I know it took a while, we were detailed, and we wanted to make sure we got this right. I'd also like to thank our many members of the baseball operations staff who dedicated countless hours to this process. Specifically, Omar and Allard Baird, thank you guys for your introduction to Carlos. These two gentlemen have a very long and successful history with Carlos. I'd like to also recognize Adam Duddridge, Jared Banner, Ian Levin, Harold Kaufman, and Jeff LeBeau for their preparation, their commitment, and their detailed due diligence. Lastly, thanks to all of you media who were incredibly respectful and understanding of our discretion throughout the process. We wanted to maintain integrity for our candidates and for our organization. As we narrowed the list, we were impressed by the many strengths of the candidates. Many of these gentlemen will ultimately make very good managers as they go forward. We have no doubt about that. The decision wasn't easy, but there are 5 things that stood out about Carlos through the process. First, he's poised. As you've seen, Carlos can command a room when he walks in. He has presence. He has patience. And at very least, he's got confidence. Next, number 2, Carlos is trustworthy. When we began this process, it was important for all of us in the ownership group and the baseball operations department to feel like we could exhale when we walked into the manager's office. We didn't want to inhale in anticipation of the conversations. Instead, we wanted to feel comfortable, we wanted to feel welcome, and we wanted to feel a partnership with the manager. We can trust Carlos, and that goes a long way. Third, Carlos has a growth mindset. That's a cliche and a very common sentence in the marketplace today, but it particularly applies to Carlos. Carlos is a learner. Carlos knows what he doesn't know, and he's willing to acknowledge it. Most importantly, Carlos has a curiosity to learn more and to grow. He's evolved. He used that word quite often during our process of the interviews. He's evolved as a player, he's evolved as a husband, a man, a parent, and we think he can apply all of that knowledge to us going forward. Number 4, Carlos is committed to beating his opponent. Why do I say that and why do I make that a point? Everybody wants to win, there's no doubt about that. Most coaches show up every day with the belief that they can try to get the best out of their players. Carlos has those 2 attributes, but he also takes it a step further. Carlos wants to beat his opponent. He looks at the little things. He looks for tips. He looks for any weaknesses that he can exploit in his game planning. He did it as a player, and we know that that's going to be a key part of his success as a manager. And 5th, most importantly, Carlos has an unrivaled appreciation and understanding of players. So let's talk about that. Carlos's hiring is a signal and an affirmation that is clear and loud to this organization's core tenets of being a players-first organization. We're players first here. Carlos Beltran will be a player's manager. Over the course of his 20-year career, Carlos won the Rookie of the Year award, 3 Gold Gloves, 2 Silver Sluggers, and was named to 9 All-Star games, 5 of which were here with the New York Mets. Additionally, Carlos played in 65 postseason games, over 7 different postseason runs. And in 2017, Carlos became a world champion. Over the last year, Carlos worked for the New York Yankees as a special advisor. In this role, he served as an important bridge between the front office, the coaching staff, and the players. Carlos has an extremely high baseball IQ. He has an appetite to collaborate, and he is a mentor, and he's a communicator, from the 25th man on the roster to the first, from our veteran players to our minor league prospects. He cares about improving each player in that clubhouse. When we put all this together, Carlos's experience, combined with his personal attributes, will give him instant credibility in our clubhouse with the players. It will give him instant relatability to the players in our clubhouse. Carlos has lived what our players are living right now. Carlos has traveled where our players hope to travel over the course of their careers. He has faced and he has overcome adversity amidst the highest of high expectations and the most intense pressure in sports. So now a message specifically to our loyal and passionate fan base. We at the Mets know that you crave and deserve a consistent winner. We won 10 games over 500 last year. We were 10 games over 500. It's progress, but it's just the beginning. Our commitment is to do more. Our commitment is to win championships. Your new manager, Carlos Beltran, has led teams over the last 14 years to 12 winning seasons as a working professional in baseball. 12 winning seasons in his last 4 years working. Carlos is a winner. Carlos came here to win. We brought Carlos here to win. And together, with your fan support, we will be a winner. So with that, congratulations to Jessica, your family, and Carlos Beltran. On behalf of the entire Mets organization, welcome home.
COO Jeff Wilpon will come forward to present the jersey and cap.
Jacket off.
Where's Harold to take your jacket? He said he'd be.
Yep. Thank you.
Get him straight.
Button.
Get him straight. Stand. Pass the first test.
You're good. Thanks. Congrats, buddy.
Step to the side for some photos to the podium, please.
Dime, Marley, ¿cómo me veo?
Look down here, guys.
Good. A few more seconds. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Brody. Carlos, the stage is yours.
Well, first of all, Brody, thank you for being so kind in all those words. Honestly, for me, I feel thankful for this opportunity. First of all, I would like to always, as a player, I give the glory and the honor to God, and I want to do the same here today. I want to thank God for this opportunity. I'm very blessed to be standing up here in front of you guys as the new manager of the New York Mets. I want to thank Fred Wilpon. I want to thank Jeff Wilpon. I want to thank Sam Katz, Brody, Omar, Aller, for allowing me and believing in me to run this club in 2020. I also want to acknowledge people that are here today. I want to my wife was very supportive to me throughout 20 years as a ball player. And the fact that she's willing to do this again, being a manager of the New York Mets, I appreciate you. Mommy, thank you for your support and everything that you do for us as a family. I want to acknowledge that here today is my 3 kids, Ivana, Kiara, and Evan Carlos. Love you guys. You guys are the world to me. And I said that I'm proud to have kids like my kids. Love you, baby. I also want to thank and acknowledge a good friend of mine throughout 22 years that basically allowed me to learn the city of New York and fall in love with the city. Joel Oakes, I love you, my brother. I'm overwhelmed, a little bit overwhelmed by this opportunity, but at the same time, I'm excited, looking forward to manage this ball club, looking forward to continue to establish relationships in this city. Throughout 20 years of career as a ball player, I was able to embrace the game of baseball. Like Brody said, I was able to go through a lot of places and learn from different organizations. And a lot of times I ask myself, before I get to this point, what kind of manager I want to become. I want to become a manager that motivate my players to play at a higher level. I want to be a manager that brings positive to the clubhouse, a positive environment that allows to show up every single day with the mentality of winning ball games. I did that as a player. I took a lot of pride into being a good teammate when I was a player. And being a manager won't change at all. You know, I just feel that I have more credibility to motivate the players and to be there for them in the good times and in the bad time. Saying that, I know that being a manager also brings all the responsibilities. And as a player, I was able to have those tough conversations with teammates to push them to continue to fight for what I believe they could have done in the game of baseball. So having those opportunities and those conversations when I was a player, there's no doubt that they're going to allow me as a manager to do the same. Before I continue, I would love to say few words in Spanish para la gente de Puerto Rico, para mi papá y mi mamá, bendición. I love you guys. Los quiero mucho, gracias por el apoyo que me han brindado para la gente de Manatí, los quiero mucho, es un privilegio, una bendición poder estar aquí parado y poder representar a Puerto Rico, ¿verdad? Y a los latinos a través del mundo en esta plataforma como manager, a mis jóvenes de la escuela de béisbol, los quiero mucho. De verdad que sigan trabajando duro, luchen por sus sueños y honestamente todo es posible. Así, si yo pude lograrlo, pónganse en eso claro en su mente que ustedes pueden lograr lo que ustedes quieran. Así que los quiero mucho, Puerto Rico, muchas bendiciones y espero verlos en abril en Puerto Rico en la serie que estaremos jugando allá. Así que muchísimas gracias. So, continue with everything. I'm sorry, I get emotional because when I talk about the kids from my academy in Puerto Rico, I could see in them the passion and the desire that they have to accomplish their dreams. So basically, I'm saying that fight for your dreams, and you know, if I was able to accomplish being able to have a good career and be in the position where I am today, there's no doubt that anyone out there can do it. So. Like I said, thank you. I want to thank everyone for this opportunity. I'm excited, looking forward to what is ahead. There's going to be, baseball is a roller coaster, guys, and I know that this will be the same, but I'm excited, and I just want to say to the Mets, thank you for believing in me. I just can't wait to rewrite our story. Being the manager of the New York Mets.
Thank you so much, Carlos. We're going to have Brody take the stage now. Before we provide direction on Q&A, let me recognize 3 individuals, special individuals that are here with us today. Queensboro President Melinda Katz, our local council member, Francisco Moya. And of course, our Majority Leader, State Senator Michael Gianaris. Thank you all for not only attending today, but for your continued support. So with that, we're going to have mics on both sides of the room. Please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation prior to your question to benefit our live audiences also at home watching. So with that, we'll go over to my right, Steve Gelbs.
Steve Gelbs, SMY. Carlos, I actually have a question for both Carlos and Brody, but Carlos, we'll start with you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
You thanked your wife for her willingness to go through this again, and clearly this is somewhat unique when it comes to a player of your caliber wanting to jump back into this grind, especially just a couple seasons post-retirement. What was it about managing in general that drove you to pursue this the way that you have?
Well, for me, the passion that I have for the game of baseball, the passion that I have to pass forward, the things that I learned in the game of baseball, I do believe that it's important. You know, it was important. It was my call to pursue this opportunity, and I'm just excited. I'm excited to have these conversations with our players and being able to impact them and impact their careers in a positive way.
And Brody, for you, clearly there were managers with significant experience that were available. You clearly felt confident enough to go with Carlos, who has no managerial experience. What specifically was it about him in the interview process that made you believe he would be able to jump right in and have the level of success that you're looking for?
Well, I think Carlos has experience and he has life experience. When he sat with us in the room, it was clear that he had an element of consistency every time we spoke. He knew what the mission was, and it's to win games. He knew that that was going to come off the foundation and the support of players, and if our players perform, we win. And Carlos understands these players in a very unique way, and as he talked to us, he indicated he wants to serve. At this point in his life, he wants to serve the community, serve the players, and serve the Mets fans. So that resonated with us and ultimately helped us make the choice.
Rich on the same side.
Congratulations, Carlos. Rich Catino, 98.7 ESPN. Communication's such a big part of managing today, and knowing from covering you, you always dealt with us in a very direct approach. What will your approach be with the players? And Brody, how did his communication skills and his really good skills impact this decision?
Well, first of all, I think communication is everything, you know, and especially in baseball and in life itself. So I'm looking forward to have conversations with the players and sit down with them one by one in spring training. Before that, I want to be able to call them individually and find out from them. I need to get to know them, what is important for them, what are their passions, and what motivates them. So if I'm capable of doing that, there's no doubt there's going to be an easy job for me to press those buttons when the season starts.
Bruce.
Second part of Rich's question.
Please, Brody. Thank you.
Rich, I think it was the sincerity. You know, obviously, he's been in the limelight as a player. He's obviously stood in front of many of you in this marketplace. But at the end of the day, it was Carlos's authenticity and his sincerity of his communication that we felt like would have the greatest impact with our players in our clubhouse.
Bruce, go ahead.
Bruce Beck, WNBC TV. Carlos, congratulations. What is your message to Mets fans who respect you as a player but question your lack of experience as a manager?
Well, there's no doubt that there's things that I need to continue to grow in this game of baseball. I have a lot of experience as a player. I understand that experience as a manager is something that I have a good group of people around me to support me through the process. So I'm excited. I have a lot of mentors out there that have reached out to me to help me in the process. So I'm just looking forward to what is ahead.
Natalie, in the middle in the back.
Carlos, felicidades. Si nos puedes dar tu respuesta en inglés y español, por favor. Haber jugado en este mercado por ambos equipos de Nueva York, ¿cómo tú crees que eso te va a ayudar en este nuevo rol?
Bueno, jugar en Nueva York, por supuesto que ayuda. Ya entiendo la cultura, entiendo el sistema de juego y las expectativas. Yo creo que eso es algo sumamente importante y me va a ayudar también a pasarle ese mensaje a los jugadores, que también muchas veces las organizaciones firman que traen de mercados más pequeños a mercados grandes, pues es un ajuste. Yo puedo sentarme con ellos y puedo explicarles situaciones que pasan en el juego.
Go ahead.
Zach Gelb, Mad Dog Sports Radio. Carlos, congratulations. My question is for Brody, though. You talked about the thorough process that you did go through. When you were evaluating the candidacy of Joe Girardi, what made him not the best candidate for this job with the experience that he could have brought to the organization?
Well, I think, as I said earlier, there were a lot of qualified candidates that brought different things to the table. I think that, we considered all of those candidates and their strengths, and ultimately it was Carlos's strengths that won the day. It was less about where other candidates fell short, and much more specifically about what Carlos's leadership brings to our team, what his leadership brings to the organization, and we had a great deal of confidence in that.
Bill?
Carlos, congratulations. Bill at MLB.com. Carlos, I'd like to ask you, what do you like about this Mets team? Just what you think about them.
Well, I think we have a good ball club. There's no doubt that we have to work hard in spring training and focus in areas that we didn't play well last year. But that's everything started with creating the environment. For me, what is positive about this is I just want to create an environment in the clubhouse with the players that they feel happy to show up to the ballpark every single day and give their best. So I'm excited with the players that we have, with the pitching staff that we have. So it's going to be a fun year.
Tim?
Tim Healy from Newsday. Carlos, when you spoke in Houston, last month, you were clear that your past disagreements with the organization were they were in the past and you weren't sweating that anymore. Mm-hmm. During the interview process, did you broach that with them at all to just clear the air, or was it not even discussed at all?
No, it wasn't even discussed. Honestly, I think what we leave, the organization and I, it's in the past. I would not be standing here if everything wasn't clear with the organization. So I'm excited to be back. Honestly, it was a situation that I was able to move forward. And I personally believe that you can't progress in life if you think in the past. You have to be able to be conscious and live in the present moment.
Thank you, Carlos. Thank you, Brody. I know there's other questions, but we're going to have one-on-one opportunities. At this time, we're going to have a photo session real quick with Carlos and his family. Carlos is going to remain on stage for the TVs to gather your group here by the stage with the backdrop. Writers, if you'll put yourself in radio to my right, and we will be with you shortly. Thank you all again for your attendance.
And we've been watching a press conference held by the New York Mets. Carlos Beltran is officially the 22nd manager in franchise history